Ladies and gentlemen, you may now take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, our champions of tomorrow, a very warm welcome to a much anticipated launch event of the Dialogue Schools Rugby League 2026. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us this evening. And today marks the beginning of a thrilling and exciting season of where we will witness the heart-pounding action, fierce rivalries and unforgettable moments that make this very sport, rugby, so very special. So ladies and gentlemen, get ready to celebrate, tackle and scrum and immerse yourself in the passion and spirit of rugby. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, let's kick off this electrifying season. Enthusiasm, excitement all together as the roar of the crowd and the clash of the titans on the field promise to deliver unforgettable parades. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. Shall we all put our hands together for the Dialogue Schools Rugby League 2026. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our guests and dignitaries that we have for you this evening. Starting off with, we have Mr. Buddhika Athanayaka, President, Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Association, Mr. Kamal Arya Singha, Additional Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Mrs. N.G. Surekha Siriwardana, Sports Ministry of Education, Mr. Dilruk Jawardana, Deputy Director of Sports, Ministry of Education, Mr. Lasantha Thevra Peruma, Group Chief Marketing Officer, Dialogue Asiata PLC, Mr. Harsha Samaranayaka, Vice President, Group Marketing, Dialogue Asiata PLC, Mr. Pugutu Alugedra, Head of Business, Media and Home at Dialogue Asiata PLC, Mr. Akib Real, Head of Brands, Master Brand and Strategy at Dialogue Asiata PLC, Mr. Dishan Dissa, Head of Papare Business, Media and Home at Dialogue Asiata PLC, Mr. Pavitra Fernando, President of Sri Lanka Rugby, Mr. Lianage Chimpaka Pushpakumara Pereira, Police Director Sports, Vice President Sri Lanka Rugby, Mr. Manoja Limana, Secretary Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Association, Mr. Nirodha Vijayarama, Secretary All Tournaments Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Association. And next I would like to acknowledge the presence of Deshabandhu M.R. Latif, retired Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police, Dr. Namit Sankalpa, Dr. Kiriala, Mr. Sahan Kulatunga, Deputy General Manager, Uspatha Confectionery Works Private Limited, Mr. Ishan Fernando, Brand Manager, Uspatha Confectionery Works Private Limited, Ms. Maheshika Jawardana, Junior Marketing Executive, Uspatha Confectionery Works Private Limited, Mr. Shanaka Gunasekara, General Manager, Uspatha Confectionery Works Private Limited, and Mr. Udara Achalanka, Senior Brand Manager, IDEX Halion Dhaka Private Limited, Mr. Manoj Balakrishnan, Assistant Brand Manager, IDEX Halion Dhaka Private Limited, Ms. Sesadi Vijay Singha, Senior Brand Executive, IDEX Halion Dhaka Private Limited, Mr. Manjula Virokon, Director Commercial, Halion Dhaka Private Limited. And next I would like to warmly welcome the corporate representatives from Haley's Mobility, principals, and of course our masters in charge of our participating schools, friends and colleagues from our media, and of course finally our champions of tomorrow, the school rugby players. So once again, a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And before we, ladies and gentlemen, delve into the exciting details of the school's rugby season ahead, we should, of course, take a moment to acknowledge our principal sponsor, and that is Dialog Axiata, Sri Lanka's #1 connectivity provider and the prolific promoter of Sri Lanka sports, is dedicated to nurturing talent, powering and empowering the champions of tomorrow. Dialog Axiata is also a dedicated sponsor of the national cricket, volleyball and esports teams, and the primary sponsor of the Sri Lanka Golf Open as well. So as we know, the company promotes diversity, equity and inclusion through sponsorships in Netball Federation of Sri Lanka, National Paralympic Committee, to enable athletes to participate in national and as well as international tournaments. And further in line with its commitment towards powering the champions of tomorrow, the company continues to power the President's Gold Cup Volleyball, National Junior and Senior Netball tourneys as well. So ladies and gentlemen, shall we all put our hands together for Dialog Axiata, who champions are tomorrow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it is time to officially unveil the Dialog Schools Rugby Season 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the Dialog Schools Rugby Season 2026. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that logo revelation, it is now time for the unveiling of the prestigious trophy of the Dialog Schools Rugby 2026. So this magnificent trophy represents the pinnacle of achievement in schools rugby and symbolizes the passion, dedication and teamwork exhibited by the participating teams for the first time. So as we eagerly await the trophy unveiling, let me take this moment to acknowledge the efforts of Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association and Dialog Axiata as well in organizing this remarkable. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's prepare ourselves for the unveiling of the Dialog Schools Rugby League 2026 trophy. So ladies and gentlemen, get ready to witness the culmination of dreams, the celebration of teamwork, and of course, the recognition of excellence as we reveal this magnificent symbol of victory. Ladies and gentlemen, let the anticipation build as we count down to this historic moment. And ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the official trophy of the Dialogue Schools Rugby League 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we officially present to you the Dialogue Schools Rugby League 2026 trophy. So there you have it, our official trophy for the event. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to officially welcome all of you. So to tell you about the welcome address and of course to officially inaugurate the Dialogue Schools Rugby League 2026, it is my absolute honor to invite the newly appointed president of the Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association, Mr. Buddhika Athanayaka. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Buddhika Athanayaka.
සියලු දෙනාටම සුබ සන්ධ්‍යාවක් කියලා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. 2026 පාසල් රග්බි පාපන්දු සංගමය මගින් සංවිධානය කරනු ලබන ප්‍රධානම තරගාවලි දෙකක් වන නොකවුට් තරගාවලිය සහ ලීග් තරගාවලිය සඳහා අවශ්‍ය කරන මූලික හඳුන්වා දීමේ වැඩසටහන තමයි අද ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්නේ. මේ ලොන්ච් එක සඳහා අපිට මේ වගේ කාර්යයක් කරන්න පාසල් වල නැගී එන දරුවන්ට ඉදිරියට යන්න මේ කටයුත්ත සිද්ධ කරන්න අපිට හැමදාම ප්‍රමුඛ අත්වල ලබා දුන්නේ ඩයලොග් ආසියාටා සමාගම. ඒක අපි අනුවාදයෙන් නම් කරන්න ඕනේ, මතක් කරන්න ඕනේ. මොකද ඔවුන් නොහිටින්න අපිට මේ තරඟාවලිය මේ ආකාරයෙන් උත්කර්ෂවත් විදියට පවත්වන්න බෑ. අපේ ලංකාවේ රග ක්‍රීඩාව ඉදිරියට ගෙන යන්න, රග ක්‍රීඩාවේ බීජ වපුරවන්න, රග අවශ්‍ය කරන ශක්තිය ලබා දෙන්න මේ වැඩසටහන සඳහා අපිට දායක වෙන්නේ ඩයලොග් ආසියාටා සමාගම. ඉතින් මම විශේෂයෙන්ම ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා පාසල් රග්බි සංගමයේ විදියට මේ කටයුත්ත සඳහා අපිට මේ අවස්ථාව ලබා දුන්නාට ඩයලොග් ආසියාටා සමාගම. අපි වසර ගණනාවක් ඒ සමාගම සමග වැඩ කරනවා. ඉතින් අපි දන්නවා රගවලට විතරක් නෙමෙයි ලංකාවේ දරුවන්ගේ ක්‍රීඩා කුසලතා ඉදිරියට වර්ධනය කරන්න මේ ආසියාටා සමාගම විශාල කැපවීමක් කරනවා. ඉතින් විශේෂයෙන්ම මතක් කරන්න ඕනේ අද දිනේ අපේ මේ කාර්යය සඳහා මේ අපිට වෙළඳ දැන්වීම් ලබා දීලා අනුග්‍රහය ලබා දීලා අපිට මේ විදිහට කටයුතු කරන අනුග්‍රාහක බවතුන්ට අමතරව අධ්‍යාපන අමාත්‍යාංශයේ අධ්‍යාපන ඇමතුමිය අගමැතිතුමිය ප්‍රමුඛ නිලධාරී මණ්ඩලය ලේකම්තුමා අතිරේක ලේකම්තුමා සහ අධ්‍යාපන අමාත්‍යාංශයේ ක්‍රීඩා ශාඛාව විශේෂයෙන් මතක් කරන්න ඕනේ අපිට මේ ශක්තිය ලබා දීම පිළිබඳව. ඉතින් අද මේ අපි ආරම්භ කරන්නේ 2026 රග්බි තරඟාවලි සඳහා වැඩසටහන. ඉතින් අපි විශේෂයෙන්ම ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා පාසල්වල විදුහල්පතිවරුන්ට විශාල කැපවීමක් කරලා ගුරුවරු විශාල කැපවීමක් කළා විශේෂ ක්‍රීඩා භාර ගුරුවරු රග භාර ගුරුවරු විශාල කැපවීමක් කළා මේ දරුවෝ පුහුණු වීම කරලා මේ තරඟාවලිය සඳහා සකස් කළ දීම පිළිබඳව. ඇත්තෙන්ම මේ තරඟාවලිය සාර්ථක කරගන්න පෙර වසරවල විදියටම අපට ඉදිරියේ මේ වසරේ සාර්ථක කර ගැනීම සඳහා ඔබ සියලු දෙනාගේම සහයෝගය අපි අපේක්ෂා කරනවා. විශේෂයෙන්ම රග කියන්නේ දරුවන්ට සුවිශේෂී වූ ක්‍රීඩාවක්. මම විශ්වාස කරනවා රග බෝලය අරගෙන තමන්ගේ සීමාව දක්වා යන්න කුමන බාධාව පැමිණියත් වෙරදරන යුග පුරුෂයෙක් බිහි කරන්න පුළුවන් ක්‍රීඩාවක් විදියට රග ක්‍රීඩාව. රග ක්‍රීඩකයන් කවදා හරි දවසක හොඳ අරමුණක් දුන්නොත් මේ රට යම් තැනකට ගෙන යන්න හොඳ අරමුණක් වුන්ට දුන්නොත් ඒ අරමුණ 200කින් ඉෂ්ට කරන්න පුළුවන් පුරවැසියෙක් බවට පරිවර්තනය වෙන්නේ රග ක්‍රීඩකයන්. ඒ නිසා මේ ක්‍රීඩාව ඉතාම වැදගත් ක්‍රීඩාවක්. අපි සමහර වෙලාවට හිතනවා මේ ක්‍රීඩාව ඇඟේ කාය ශක්තියෙන් තමයි කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. නමුත් වර්තමානයේ වෙනකොට මේ ක්‍රීඩාව වෙනස් වෙලා තියෙනවා. කාය ශක්තියට වඩා තාක්ෂණය උපයෝගී කරගනිමින් තීරණ ගනිමින් තීරණ අවශ්‍ය වෙලාවට වෙනස් කරමින් සාමූහිකව කටයුතු කරමින් මේ ක්‍රීඩාව කරනවා නම් මං හිතනවා මේ ක්‍රීඩාවේ උන්නතිය විශාල ප්‍රගතියක් බවට මේ රටේ ගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා මම මේ අවස්ථාව කරගන්නවා විශේෂයෙන්ම අපේ පුහුණුකරුවන්ට පොඩි උපදේශයක් දෙන්න. මේ දරුවන් මේ ක්‍රීඩාව සඳහා යොමු කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේ දරුවන්ගේ අනාගතය පිළිබඳව පුහුණුකරුවන් විශේෂයෙන්ම සැලකිලිමත් විය යුතුයි. සමහර පුහුණුකරුවන් මට පේනවා අවශ්‍යතාවයට වඩා පුහුණු වීම දරුවන්ට දෙනවා. දරුවන්ගේ මට්ටමට වඩා ඒ මට්ටම තුල විශේෂයෙන් හොඳ ක්‍රීඩකයෙක් මේ රටට දායාද වෙන්න තියෙන අවස්ථාව අයිමි වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා පුහුණුකරුවන් විශේෂයෙන් මේ පිළිබඳ සැලකිලිමත් වෙන්න. මේ අවස්ථාවට පුහුණුකරුවෝ සම්බන්ධ වෙලා නැහැ. නමුත් විදුහල්පතිවරු සම්බන්ධ වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා මේ ක්‍රීඩාව ඉදිරියට ගෙන යන්න සියලු දෙනාගේම ශක්තිය ධෛර්යය අපට ලබා දෙන්න. අපි මේ හදන්නේ අනාගත ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ රග ක්‍රීඩාව අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩාව බවට පරිවර්තනය කරන්න ඕන කරන පසුබිම වැපරවීම තමයි අපි මේ කරන්නේ. ඒ නිසා විශේෂයෙන්ම මම මතක් කරන්න ඕනේ අපේ අධ්‍යාපන අමාත්‍යාංශයේ නියෝජ්‍ය අතිරේක ලේකම්තුමා අපේ හිටපු කමල් ආරියසිංහ මැතිතුමා අපිට විශාල ශක්තියක් වුණා. එතුමාද අපිට පැමිණීමට නියමිතයි. එතුමා මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ මතක් කරනවා. ඒ වගේම අධ්‍යාපන අමාත්‍යාංශය නියෝජනය කරමින් පැමිණි නියෝජ්‍ය අධ්‍යක්ෂක ක්‍රීඩා අපේ දිරුලුක් දයවර්ධන මැතිතුමාවත් ඉතාම ආදරයෙන් මතක් කරනවා. අපට ගිය වසරවල සියලු තරගාවලි පැවැත්වීම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය කරන සියලු පහසුකම් ටික ලබා දුන්නේ එතුමාගේ නායකත්වය යටතේ අපිට පැමිණිච්ච සියලු ගැටලු निराकරණය දීලා මේ තරගාවලි පවත්වලා මේ දරුවන්ට ඒ ශක්තිය ලබා දෙන්න අවශ්‍ය කරන ශක්තිය අපිට ලබා දුන්නේ එතුමා. ඒ වගේම අපි ඩයලොග් ආසියාටා සමාගමේ මම හිතන්නේ තාම පැමිණලා නැහැ අපේ ලසන්ත තෙවරප්පෙරුම් මැතිතුමා අපිට හැම විටම ශක්තියක් වුණා අපිට යම් ගැටලු ඇති වෙන වෙලාවට අපිට දරුවන්ට අවශ්‍ය කරන ශක්තිය ලබා දෙන්න අපි කරන වෙලාවට නොපිරියලා ඒ ශක්තිය අපිට ලබා දුන්නා. ඒ සඳහා දායකත්වය අපේ ලසන්ත තෙවරප්පෙරුම් මැතිතුමා වගේම හර්ෂ සමන්නායක මැතිතුමා අපිට නායකත්වය ලබා දුන්නා. මූල්‍යමය වශයෙන් අපිව ශක්තිමත් කරලා ඉදිරි වැඩ කටයුතු කරන්න. ඒ වගේම ඩයලොග් ආසියාටා සමාගම ඊටම නියතමානී වුණා අපිට තවත් අනුග්‍රහකින් සමුදායක් එකට එකතු කරගෙන මේක තව තවත් ශක්තිමත් කරන්න අවශ්‍ය කරන දායකත්වය ලබා දෙන්න. ඒ සඳහා අවශ්‍ය කරන පාසුකම් ලබා දෙන්න. ඒ අනුව අපිට ඩයලොග් ආසියාටා සමාගම අනුබද්ධ පපරේ ආයතනය සම්බන්ධ කරලා දුන්නා. ඒ නිසා අපි පපරේ ආයතනයේ දිල්ෂාන් සාමාතා මේ අවස්ථාවේ මතක් කරනවා. ඒ වගේම අපිට මේ රග ක්‍රීඩාව වර්ල්ඩ් රග්බි රූල්ස් අනුව කටයුතු කරන්න අපිට නායකත්වය දුන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා රග්බි ආයතනය. මේ අවස්ථාව නියෝජනය කරනවා රග්බි ආයතනයේ සභාපතිතුමා පවිත්‍ර ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝ මහතා ඒ වගේම නියෝජ්‍ය සභාපතිතුමා චිත්තක පුෂ්ප කුමාර මහතා ඊටම ආදරයෙන් මේ අවස්ථාවේ මතක් කරනවා. මේ කාර්යභාරයේදී නැවත වරක් මේ වර්ෂය පුරා මේ රග ආයතනයේ පාසල් රග ආයතනය ඉදිරියට ගෙන යන්න ලේකම්වරයා වශයෙන් අපේ මනුජ නිර්මාණ මහතාත් තරඟ ලේකම්වරයා වශයෙන් විජේරාම මහතාත් අපි මේ අවස්ථාවේ මතක් කරනවා විශාල කාර්යභාරයක් කරනවා. ගුරු භූමිකාවට විදුහල්පති භූමිකාවට අමතරව විශාල කාර්යභාරයක් කරනවා. ඒ නිසා ඔවුන් සමග තමයි පාසල් සියලුම විදුහල්පතිවරු ක්‍රීඩාභාර නිලධාරීන් ගනුදෙනු කරන්නේ. ඒ ඔවුන් සමග හොඳින් ගනුදෙනු කළා මේ කාර්යය සාර්ථක කරගන්න හැකියාව ලැබුණා. ඒ වගේම අපිට ගිය වසරේ ඉඳලා සම්බන්ධ වුණා උස්වත්ත ප්‍රයිවට් ලිමිටඩ් ආයතනයේ ශාන් කුලතුංග මැතිතුමා අපිත් එක්ක ගිය අවුරුද්දේ සාකච්ඡා කරලා අපිව හඳුනා ගනිමින් යම් ගැටලු සහිතව හිතේ තියෙන්න ඇති. නමුත් අපිත් එක්ක වැඩ කළා ගිය අවුරුද්දේ අපි හොඳින් හඳුනාගත්තා. මේවර අපි කතා කරාම අපි සමග මේ අනුග්‍රහය සඳහා ලබා දෙන්න එතුමා ඇතුළු ඒ කණ්ඩායම අපිට කටයුතු කළා. මේ අවස්ථාව මම මතක් කරනවා උස්වත්ත ප්‍රයිවට් ලිමිටඩ් ආයතනය අපිත් එක්ක ගනුදෙනු කළා. ඔවුන් අපිට ශක්තියක් වුණා. ඒ වගේම අපිට අපේ ක්‍රීඩකයන්ට යම්කිසි අනතුරක් වුණාම අවශ්‍ය කරන ඒ බේත් මෙඩිකල් ලබා දෙන්න අයිඩෙක් සමාගම අපිත් එක්ක එකතු වුණා. ඒ නිසා අපි සමග හොඳින් කටයුතු කළා. ඔවුනුත් මෙවරත් අපිත් එක්ක එකට අත්වැල් වැදගත්තා. ඒ වගේම අපි ඒ සමාගමේ උදාර අචලංක මහත්මාව මේ අවස්ථාවේ මතක් කරනවා. එසේම අපිට අලුතින්ම සම්බන්ධ වුණා ඒලිස් සමාගම අනුබද්ධ ආයතන වල නිලධාරීන් මේ අවස්ථාවට පැමිණලා තිනවා. ඔවුන් සියලු දෙනාත් මතක් කරනවා. ඒ වගේම අපේ ආදර විදුහල්පතිවරු ඊළඟට ක්‍රීඩාභාර ආචාර්යවරු අපිට හැමදාම මේ කාර්යභාරයේදී විශාල ශක්තියක් වුණු මාධ්‍ය ආයතන වල සියලු දෙනාත් ඒ වගේම මගේ ආදරණීය රත්තරන් පුතණුවන්ලා ඒ වගේම අද දිනේ සහභාගී නොවුණත් දූවරුත් අපිත් සමග ඉන්නවා. ඒ සියලු දෙනාත් මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ මතක් කරනවා. අද පැමිණිච්ච මේ සියලු දෙනාම මම ඊටාම ලෙන්ගතුව පිළිගන්න අතර රග ක්‍රීඩාව ඉදිරියට ගෙන යන්න ඩයලොග් ආසියාටා සමාගමත් උත්සත්ත සමාගමත් අයඩෙක්ස් සමාගමත් ඒ වගේම තේලිස් සමාගමත් පපරේ ආයතනයත් අපිට ලබා දෙන ශක්තිය අපි අගය කරනවා. ඒ වගේම මට අමතක වුණා අපිට හැමදාම ශක්තියක් වන අපේ වෛද්‍යවරු දෙදෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. විශේෂයෙන්ම සංකල්ප වෛද්‍යතුමාත් කිරියල්ලම මැතිතුමාත් මේ අවස්ථාවේ වෛද්‍යතුමාත් අපි මේ අවස්ථාවේ මතක් කරමින් මේ පටන් ගන්නා ඩයලොග් ලීග් තරගාවලිය සහ ඩයලොග් නොකවුට් තරගාවලිය සඳහා ඔබ සියලු දෙනාගේ ශක්තිය ලබා දෙන්න ලබා දීලා මේ රටේ රග ක්‍රීඩාව ඉදිරියට ගෙන යන්න අවශ්‍ය කරන පසුබිම ගොඩනගන්න මේ පටන් ගන්නා අද තියෙන පියවර ශක්තිමත් ඉදිරියට ගෙන යන්න ඔබ සියලු දෙනාම අපට දායක වෙන්න කියලා ඉල්ලමින් මානියට වෙනවා. ස්තුතියි ඔබ සැමට.
Thank you very much, Mr. Buddhika Athanayaka. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we put our hands together once more for Mr. Buddhika Athanayaka. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, tonight marks the beginning of a thrilling season, a season full of excitement as we officially launch the Dialogue Schools Rugby League 2026. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we delve into the rest of the evening, we have a quick highlight video for you. I would like to request you to draw your attention towards the screen.
Dialogue Schools Rugby is here. 90 schools. 2,700 rising stars. Battle for passion, pride, and ultimate glory. Witness history in the making. As Dialogue powers the champions of tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you saw, this tournament is very significant as this tournament will have a record-breaking 90 schools participating in the league this year, where Dialogue Schools Rugby League 2026, which makes this season even more special. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to respectfully invite Mr. Pavitra Fernando, former Sri Lanka rugby captain and current president of the Sri Lanka Rugby, and to address the gathering and to give us an update as to how he plans to connect the future schools rugby champions to the national stage through his plans. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Pavitra Fernando.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers, sponsors, schools, coaches, and most importantly, the young players who are the heartbeat of Sri Lanka rugby. As a former national player who began his journey in schools rugby, I know firsthand that schools rugby is the true foundation of our national game. Many of Sri Lanka's greatest players started exactly where these young boys stand today. One of my key priorities as president of Sri Lanka Rugby is to strengthen the pathway from school rugby to the national stage. Through high performance programs, provincial academies and national squads, we want to ensure that the most talented players in the country are identified early and given the opportunity to represent Sri Lanka. This pathway becomes even more important this year as Sri Lanka will host the Under-19 Rugby World Cup qualifier in December. The last time Sri Lanka hosted this tournament was 26 years ago, and on that occasion, we qualified for the Junior Rugby World Cup, one of the proudest moments in our rugby history. Together with the school rugby authorities, Sri Lanka Rugby will conduct a national selection tournament shortly after the A-level examinations, bringing together the best talent from the schools league. This will allow us to identify the best players and ensure our team is battle ready for the December qualifiers. To the young players here today, rugby is built on discipline, respect and teamwork. Play hard, uphold those values and represent your school with pride. Whether you win or lose is not what matters most. What matters most is how you play the game. The future of Sri Lanka Rugby is sitting in our schools today. Our responsibility is to build a pathway that takes them from these fields to the national jersey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pavitra Fernando, for your inspiring words. Ladies and gentlemen, shall put our hands together once more for Mr. Pavitra Fernando. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, it is now time to celebrate the spirit of unity and competition as we invite our very own captains onto stage to create a memorable moment. First of all, I would like to respectfully invite the Division 1 Segment A schools captains to join me on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, so these captains have been entrusted with leading their respective teams, guiding them through the highs and lows of the rugby season. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Division A Segment 1 schools captains. These are your captains from Division 1 Segment A. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we put our hands up once more for them? I don't see enough enthusiasm from our audience. Thank you very much to our captains. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we put our hands together once more for our Division 1 Segment A captains. And up next, I would like to invite our Division 1 Segment B captains to join me on stage for a group photograph. Please put your hands together as our Division 1 Segment B captains join us on stage for a group photograph. All right, thank you very much to our captains. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we put our hands together once more for our Division 1 Segment B captains. Up next, I would like to invite the Division 1 Segment C schools captains to join us on stage, along with the rest of the players of Division 2 and 3. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as our Division 1 Segment C schools captains join us on stage, along with the rest of the players of Division 2 and 3. much to our Division 1 Segment C schools captains. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we put our hands together once more for them as well. I actually don't see a lot of enthusiasm from the audience. Shall we all make some noise for all of our captains, ladies and gentlemen, once more? All right, thank you very much. So we truly appreciate your presence with us, this to all our captains, and I would like to wish you all the very best of luck in your upcoming matches. May you lead your teams with determination, sportsmanship, and the true spirit of rugby. So ladies and gentlemen, we are at the beginning of a new exciting season of 2026. However, before we do, winners from last year's Dialogue Schools rugby season, as who of course felicitated by our title partner of the tournament. So ladies and gentlemen, before we delve into more of details of this year's league, let's take this moment to take a look at highlights from last year's Dialogue Schools Rugby Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, this is last year's Dialogue Schools Rugby Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we put our hands together for all of our winners from last year as well. So as you saw, Dialogue Asiata PLC was part of last year as well, and this year as well, Dialogue Asiata PLC has once again stepped forward to sponsor the Schools Rugby League in 2026, demonstrating their the growth and development of school rugby in Sri Lanka. As we know, ladies and gentlemen, Dialogue Asiata is Sri Lanka's #1 connectivity provider and the prolific promoter of Sri Lanka's sports, dedicated to nurturing talent and powering the champions of tomorrow. Dialogue Asiata is also a dedicated sponsor of the national cricket, volleyball and esports teams, and the primary sponsor of Sri Lanka Golf Open as well. So the company, as we know, promotes diversity, equity and inclusion through sponsorships in the Netball Federation of Sri Lanka and National Paralympic Committee to enable athletes to participate in national and international tournaments. And further, in line with this whole commitment towards powering the champions of tomorrow, the company contributes to power the President's Gold Club Volleyball, National, Junior and netball tournaments as well. So once again, we are immensely grateful for their support and partnership in making this season possible as well. So ladies and gentlemen, shall we make some noise once again for Dialogue Asiata? Shall we put our hands together once more? So let's take this moment to once again reflect on Dialogue's unwavering commitment to, of course, powering the champions of tomorrow through their sports to rugby schools, their support to schools rugby, which consists this time of over 90 schools, 2,700 student athletes taking part from across 3 divisions. Ladies and gentlemen, as we unveil Dialogue 2025 rugby season, let us take a look at a quick video that will take you through what this Dialogue 2026 rugby has for you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dialogue 2026 rugby season.
Yeah. 2,700 rising stars. Battle for passion, pride, and ultimate glory. Witness history in the making. of tomorrow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like an exciting season is ahead of all of you. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to present our checks on behalf of our sponsors to, of course, our association. To accept these dummy checks, I would like to respectfully invite Mr. Manoj Nimana, Secretary of Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Association, along with Mr. Nirodha Vijayaram, Secretary All Tournament Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Association, to join me on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as our gentlemen join on stage. And starting off with, we have our official co-sponsor of the Dialogue Schools Rugby season, and that is to respectfully invite Mr. Sahan Kulatunga, Deputy General Manager of Uswatha Confectionery Works Private Limited, along with Mr. Ishan Fernando, Brand Manager, Uswatha Confectionery Works Private. Gentlemen, please put your hands together for our co-sponsor, Uswatha. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your co-sponsors of the Dialogue Schools Rugby season, Uswatha. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we put our hands together once more for Uswatha? Thank you very much once again. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have our official pain relief partner for Dialogue Schools Rugby season, and that is Halion Lanka Private Limited. I would like to respectfully invite Mr. Udara Chalanka, Senior Brand Manager of IDEX Halion Lanka Private Limited, along with Mr. Manoj Balakrishnan, Assistant Brand Manager, IDEX Halion Lanka Private Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Halion Lanka Private Limited, our official pain relief partner for the Dialogue Schools Rugby season. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much to other gentlemen as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are our sponsors that we have. So, up next, I would like to invite yet another very special individual to talk to you on this very special occasion. I would like to respectfully invite Mr. Akib Braille, Head of Brands, Master Brand and Strategy at Dialogue Asiata PLC, to speak a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Akib Braille.
Good evening, dignitaries, invited guests, and student athletes. So on behalf of Dialogue, let me first say welcome, and we are proud to be a partner once again with school rugby. It's not, today or yesterday that we started this journey. We've been with school rugby through the ups and downs, and we're very proud to see it at its zenith. This year marks the biggest ever school rugby season, and we are a proud partner alongside the committee and all of the student athletes in ensuring that the entire country sees this. Not only your schools, not only your parents and friends, but the entirety of the country sees school rugby as a prevailing heavyweight amongst all youth development activities. And we are keen to support you on this journey. But then again, the question might arise, why is Dialogue doing sports? It's a fair question. It's a question I get asked every year. Every conversation I have, dialogue, you do mobile, you do HBB, now you have DTV, you have dialogue play, you have Papare. Why are you doing sports? Just let Papare cover it. Why are you investing in sports? Because make no mistake about it, we have invested billions in driving sports in Sri Lanka. So, to answer that question, let me go back to the purpose of dialogue. Dialogue is in the business of enriching Sri Lankan lives. We believe that we have the responsibility to positively impact and enrich every single Sri Lankan. And we do so, we impact 20 million Sri Lankans. And one avenue which we use is sports. Because I don't need to tell you, sports has a very, very emotional connection. Yeah? I'll take an example. I'm going out of rugby for a second, but I'll come back to it. Who watched the Sri Lanka-Australia match? T20. Really? Nobody watched? Who watched the match Sri Lanka-Australia T20? There you go. That's better. And when you saw us win, when you saw us beat Australia, how did that make you feel? Gila social media ke damma ne ape boys කොහොමද අපේ කොල්ලෝ ලේසි නෑ ඔස්ට්‍රේලියාටම ගැහුවා kangaroo curry hashtag. Then who watched us play against England? මම තරතිලා බැලුවා match එක. How about the New Zealand match? ඒක ඉතින් first ball එකට පස්සේ මම off කරා but හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන් match එක. But that's the thing. Sports makes you emotional. Positive and negative. There are very few things in this world that can make you feel that way. You feel like you're in love with sports. Then the next moment you hate sports, but you feel it in your body, and it positively and negatively can impact your life. Your day is ruined when you see Pathum Nisaka getting out for 0. But if he scores 100, my God, you're walking on cloud number 9. And that's why we as Dialogue involve ourselves in Sri Lankan sports. We are the prolific promoter of Sri Lankan sports because it positively impacts the lives of Sri Lankans. And that is why across national cricket, school cricket and rugby, volleyball, netball, para, we have invested and we continue to be a long-term partner. From para to volleyball, it's over 2 decades now. Of cricket, we are continuing our partnership on national cricket for 13 years. Big matches, my goodness, we've been partnering big matches forever. And school rugby, we started this when it was COVID, when they were looking around saying who can support us. And we stood up as Dialogue, and along with the rest of our partners, we are happy to see school rugby arriving at such a high platform. And this year, not only as a corporate entity of Dialogue, but also through Dialogue Television, Papare and Dialogue Play. We will enable you to watch and catch the action anywhere, anytime. I think that is the uniqueness that we are proud to bring to the table. Not only the financial investment, but the campaign, the awareness, and the production, the world-class production of Papare, combined with the ability to make you watch it anywhere, anytime. And we will commit to our continued partnership. With that being said, I wish to say good luck to everyone. Last season was very exciting. We hope to see a similar season. New winners, same winners. We just want excitement and we are with you all the way. So good luck and hope to see you throughout the season. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Mr. Aki Breal for, of course, bringing the excitement and setting the tone as well. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we put our hands together once more for Mr. Aki Breal. As we know, ladies and gentlemen, Dialogue has provided multiple avenues to experience the excitement, offering the opportunity to watch the game through platforms such as Dialogue Television, the Popare TV, the Popare.com and Dialogue Play Mobitel app. So ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, it is time to officially hand over the official broadcasting partner sponsorship from Dialogue Television to our association. So to do the honors, I would like to respectfully invite Mr. Amtana, Deputy Director of Sports of the Ministry of Education, along with Mr. Tayකට, President of the Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome our gentlemen on stage. And to recognize our official broadcasting partner, Dialogue Television, I would like to respectfully invite Mr. Puvuduwalugetra, Vice President, Media and Content at Dialogue Asiata PLC, along with Mr. Dishan Disa, Head of Popare Business Media and Home, Dialogue Asiata PLC. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome our gentlemen on stage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, you're witnessing the official handing over of the broadcasting partner sponsorship, Dialogue Television. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. With that, we move on to the handing over of our title sponsor, Dialogue, to our association. So we have a special moment to commemorate the strong partnership and support that fuels the Dialogue Schools Rugby League. I would like to respectfully invite our esteemed VIPs to join us on stage for the dummy check exchange ceremony. I would like to respectfully invite Mr. Lasantha Tevra Pirma, Group Chief Marketing Officer at Dialogue Asiata PLC, along with Mr. Harsha Samaranayaka, the Vice President, Group Marketing at Dialogue Asiata PLC. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for your title sponsor, Dialogue. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you our official title sponsor, Dialogue. I know we are at the brink of an exciting season, and ladies and gentlemen, I want a bit more excitement from the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, shall I put our hands together once more for Dialogue, our title sponsor, powering the champions of tomorrow. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us on stage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we officially conclude the much anticipated launch of the Dialogue Schools Rugby League 2026. So may this thrilling season be exciting to each and every one of you. I would like to wish all the very best of luck to each and every one of you. And thank you very much to all of our sponsors who came forward as well. And once again, wishing our champions of tomorrow all the very best of luck, and make sure to catch the action on Dialogue TV, the Popare.com and Dialogue Play mobile app. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.